Well, Real Stories with Ranvir is on ITV tomorrow night at 8:30. It's so good to see you.
I've had a lie-in this morning. It's so nice. What a decent time of day this is.
It's lovely. It is lovely. We're very lucky. Now, look, the first series was great and it was a massive success, and obviously that's why they've commissioned a second one. But you know, in our job that we're so lucky. We meet incredible people, and of course people always ask you about the A-listers. But for me, it's the real-life stories that are the most interesting.
Well, you're absolutely right, and that's what... We had sort of a blank canvas last year. You know, there was a half-hour slot at 7:30, what do you want to do with it, which was amazing, you know. And in the end, you sort of go back to what you really touches you as a person, as me. You know, what do I really like to watch? And, yeah, you meet loads of A-listers, but do you know what? There are people who do extraordinary things every day, and they never have a film made about them. They don't make millions of pounds. They don't walk on red carpets. They don't get, you know, designer clothes. They just do what they do, amazing things, and then move on. And I wanted to really capture these people. And also, I just think, you know, I do like hard news. You know, I do a lot of mainstream sort of hard news, you know, on ITN and everything. But there comes a point where everything you do is about sort of someone's negative aspects, or, you know, the bad side of life, or things that are going wrong. And I just think for half an hour, I always call it like a mini Pride of Britain.
Oh, that's
you know, when it comes on, and you just think you can't, almost you can't wait to cry, you can't wait to feel good, you can't wait to feel empathy with someone. And that's what I really wanted to create for half an hour.
No, very much so. And also what I think is lovely is you get a longer time to talk to people. You really get their stories, you draw them out, they've got time to do that, and you get really engaged with it.
Yeah, and you can see with Keegan, I mean, you know, during the interview, he got quite tearful, and afterwards he was so shocked. He said, I don't cry, I haven't cried for like 2 years, what have you made me do, you know? And at the end, and you know, sometimes it feels a bit like therapy at the end of a conversation, because people are opening up possibly for the first time, really, which is such a privilege, isn't it?
No, very much so. And those are the stories that stick with you, I think, Ranvir, the real life ones do.
Yes.
You know, and especially when people, what's great about this series is, yes, people have gone through really tough times, but there's always at the end, it's okay.
So we've got...
It's inspirational.
Absolutely. We've got this lovely lad, you know, he was 23 at the time of the 7/7 bombings, and it was his first job, young lad, liked to go out a lot. Bomb goes off. He then, in an hour and a half before the paramedics even arrive, saves probably maybe 200 people coming out of the carriage, one by one, one by one. And the further he goes in, the worse it gets, the quieter it gets. You know? You know what that means.
Yes, absolutely.
And he has had so much survivor's guilt. He has been so traumatised, suicidal for all this time. It happened in 2005. We're now in 2016. He has never spoken about it. Survivors would try and find him. He would hide round corners to avoid them. He couldn't take the praise. He couldn't... And I said, why? We wanted to speak to him. He's called the secret hero of 7/7. I said, why do you want to speak to us? He said, it's actually part of my recovery. And you can see him.
That makes sense.
He takes a lot of deep breaths. And the things he says, you know, will just... will make it's jaw-dropping.
I have to say as well, congratulations, Chancellor. And before everybody thinks it's our first ever women Chancellor,
Number 11.
Although who knows? Who knows?
I'm available, Theresa May.
In this crazy world, we just don't know. But no, look at you, splendid, of your university.
Oh,
it's
the University of Central Lancashire, which is where I was born in Preston, raised in Preston. This is where I started my journalism career.
Wonderful.
And do you know that robe? It cost about £12,000.
Wow.
They put real silver in it. Can you believe it? I'm nicking it. Basically, I'll be wearing it on Good Morning Britain just as a sort of subtle sort of nod.
Oh,
thank you.
Well, Ranvir, the show's on tomorrow, 8:30, as we said.
Half seven.
Half seven
tomorrow,
on ITV, 7:30. That's very important that we know that. And it's just always great to see you. It really is. We'll go and have a cup of tea, and we'll see you on GMB, of course. Thank you, my love.
Thank you, Lorraine.
For more great moments from the show, click here. And don't forget to subscribe.
Is that her? Oh, my God.
That is, she's just coming in to say...
Talking of dangerous killer women.
So they said that they wanted a surprise star on the sofa.
Go on, give us a kiss.
But unfortunately, Madonna wasn't available.
Oh, I'd pay money to see that. I'd pay money to see that.